Two secs. Yo guys, what's going down? This is Ash here from NTV Studios. Welcome back to a Mafia 3 stream. It's been a while since I've done one, and we're just basically like gonna do a bit more exploring, and we're gonna also be looking at why Mafia 2 is actually better than Mafia 3, because believe it or not, Mafia 2 is actually a way better game than Mafia 3. Even though Mafia 3 is good, Mafia 2 is a lot better in a lot of ways, which you guys might be just maybe interested in. I'll also maybe go into the glitch as well, depending on what goes down in Chinatown. And I apologise for streaming so late. I had to help out with trick-or-treating with my nan, you know, people coming to the door, because where we live, we've always made our house like recognisable for like kids coming trick-or-treating for years. Like, we'll always put a few decorations out the front. We'll always let people know that they're welcome to come, and I've been helping out this year, and I didn't get dressed up, but I put this I put like something on my face. It's kind of like, you know, when you used to be, well, I think you can still get them, but you know them fake tattoos where you basically like stick them on and then you like hold a wet flannel down on them for like 30 seconds. I did one of them, well, quite a few, but it was all like cuts and bruises and, you know, black eye, and to make you look like the effect that you know, like you've all been beaten up, that type of thing. And I tell you what, it is the most realistic costume I have ever worn in my entire life. So a first woman came to the door, and I used to know her from school. She was like a teaching assistant, you know, someone who like sits in a classroom and helps the people in lessons what need more help, which I'll admit was me. She come, and she actually thought it was real. Like, she come up to the door and looked closer and said, "Have you come off your motorbike again?" You know, like, "Oh, what's happened? Are you alright?" And this is before I even got the whole thing on, because before I got a chance to put every tattoo on, or whatever you want to call it, there was people already knocking at the door. So I went down anyway, and I had this like huge graze thing on my cheek, and she actually thought it was real. Like, no joke, she thought it was real. And we put more on, and then later on my stepsister came with a friend trick-or-treating at our house, and at first she was pretty sure, like, I don't think she was certain whether it was real, but she weren't certain that it was fake, if you get what I mean. She had to ask a few times, like, she was like, "That's not real, no, that's not real, is it? Is that real?" Like, she wanted to think it was real, but at the same time she wanted to think it was fake, and loads of people like presumed it was real, but it actually wasn't. It looked really realistic. So it was a pretty good you know, pretty good night, to be honest with you. Just you know, for definitely the best costume I've ever worn, and it was quite good, because I used to wear this really cool clown costume a few years back, and that was pretty cool. But you know, like things like them, you can always tell the costumes, can't you? Like you never know, like you always know that. But this one, like, so many people thought I was actually, you know, like that for real, and that's what made it more interesting. Like, everyone knows that someone's going to dress as a pumpkin or a clown or something, and especially with all the clown stuff going about this year. Like, I mean, what even the F is all of that stuff? I mean, why do people want to waste the time dressing up as clowns and running around towns chasing people like stupid baboons? Like, literally. So yeah, so this is Mafia 3, guys. It's obviously been out a couple of weeks, but in my opinion, it's a pretty boring game. If you don't follow the story, it's pretty boring. Like, you know, like how GTA, like if you don't do missions on GTA, there's kind of like plenty you can do. You can like rob shops, and you know, you can start up races, and you know, you can do like so much online. Well, Mafia 3 is kind of just limited to the story, and if you don't do the story, you're pretty limited to just being able to walk around or slightly you know, go in a few buildings, and that's really about it. But if you actually look back at Mafia 2, you know, again, there wasn't an online or anything, but Mafia 2 was way better in terms of things you could do. You could repair your car when it was damaged, you could open every door in your car, you could open the windows in your apartments, turn the lights on and off, get a sandwich and a drink out the fridge, sleep in the bed when it was night time. You could you could even flush your toilet and turn your taps on in your bathroom. Like, you know, it's not necessarily the fact, you know, like whether you would want to use them or not, but it's more realistic that it's more cool that they have them there in the game if you want to, and it like made it so more realistic. I mean, Mafia 3 focuses a lot on the story, but in terms of the background, they don't really focus too heavily on the background, if that makes sense. Like, apart from the story, there isn't much you can do, and there isn't much you can really see in the city other than the city and a map, and a part of the map which you can't actually go in because for whatever reason a DLC is going to come out or something like that. So this game is very limited to just the story. Now, I really like this game, and I think the story is like superbly like thought out on this game. Like, it is a really cool like story to the game. But in terms of like these sort of games, I like these games to free roam and do different things in free roam, and that's what I really liked about Mafia 2. You know, you could do all of that free roaming stuff. But when it comes to Mafia 3, you're very limited to just pretty much being able to drive around. I mean, apart from driving around, there isn't really anything else you can do in free mode, and that's what really ruins it for me, because when you've completed the game, you know, like for example, when I actually did complete Mafia 2, it was like the only ever game I completed. But when I did complete it, I still had reasons to go back on the game. Like, I didn't just complete it and sell it and then start another game. I still enjoyed the scenery and driving around, and you know, I still felt like I wanted to come back on the game, even though, you know, I'd actually completed it. Whereas Mafia 3, you know, like once the missions are done, you know, you're kind of limited to what you can do. Like, you may as well just box your game up and sell it, where really what you want is you want a game what's gonna, you know, what you're gonna want to play for longer than just the story. And I think we've buggered this car now. So Mafia 2 is actually a lot better, and you know, that's just the way it is. Just the way it is. But Mafia 3 is still a good game. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not in any way, shape or form saying I don't like Mafia. I do like Mafia 3, but I'm just genuinely telling you I preferred Mafia 2 as a game, if that makes sense, because, you know, the truth is it was a better game, whether you want to hear that, whether you don't. Holy, this car's quick though. You ready for this? Alright, we don't want to be going down there. Can we like... Oh wow, we're nearly here, look. Alright, so if we go here, we can actually get into the glitch. But there's something I want to try, because there's an airport on this map. But every time like you go into the glitch and you get close to the airport, you actually get stuck. as in you actually just fall through the ground. Now if we fall through the ground, we're going to have to restart Mafia, like go to pause, you know, load up the game, that type of thing. Oh, sorry about that. And you too. So like I say, like it is a bit bad in that sense that you can't really do anything, you know, when you've completed the game. But it'd be really cool if we could get to this airport, because it'll be very, very interesting to see what it looks like. But you can get close to it, you just can't actually physically go to the airport itself. But you can get close to it. You can get close to it enough to tell that it is an airport, and you can actually see the aeroplanes there and that type of thing. But in terms of like, you know, actually being able to physically get to the airport and walk along the runway and sort of like stand right near the planes, you're very like you just can't do it. You can only fall through the floor. So we're going to have to see if there is a way to get to it. I've not found a way yet, but I'll just keep looking. And sometimes it's hard to find a boat. You've got to get a Pacific boat in order for this glitch to work. Well, I won't say a Pacific boat, but I've only found that this one boat works because it's a taller boat. Now, if there isn't one, that's going to be an issue. And it doesn't look like there's a boat here, look. Well, that's a shame. As a matter of fact, that's very much a shame. Wow. That's that means we're done. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the park drive, what went out yesterday. Now the plan was we were supposed to get one up today, you know, with it being Halloween. It was supposed to be like Halloween. And basically, like, I wasn't planning to do this, but if you don't know, my good pal Stampy, who plays Martin in the series, he hasn't been in them for a few episodes because he's genuinely just been busy.